All right, thanks, Adi. Hi, everyone. My name is Balqis, as Adi's just introduced me. I now work within professional services as an Academy GIS consultant. And for those of you who don't know, and as Liv and James just mentioned earlier, um, professional services is the consultancy department here at Esri UK. Just a bit of background about myself. I have a degree in geology, and I sort of discovered GIS in my second year. I was really, really interested in it, and that led me to do a master's in GIS at the University of Manchester. So I applied to become a graduate for the Esri UK graduate scheme for the 2021 cohort. Um, and my graduate program followed a similar structure to the structure of Liv's and James's graduate program. So now I'll just go over the life after the graduate program and how I found my transition period moving on from a graduate to my permanent role. So around about this time last year, my cohort received an email with all the eligible roles that graduates could apply for after the program. I had a look at it and was sort of interested in two different roles, and one of them was a role in professional services as an Academy GIS consultant. Now, I'll get into a bit more detail about what the Academy actually is later on in my presentation, um, but at that time was very interested in it. I had secondhand recollections from my cohort about their experience in professional services. However, I had not yet done my professional services rotation, sometimes just because of timetabling. When the job adverts come out, you may have not done that rotation yet. So again, was very interested in what I had known of professional services and what my idea of consultancy actually was, but no firsthand experience. So bit nervous, bit hesitant. What if I get the job and I'm there and then I end up not liking it? What then? So luckily, my graduate buddy at the time was a professional services academy consultant. So I expressed my worries to her, and she put me in touch with senior management within professional services. And they very kindly made time for me. We had a chat about my concerns. I got to ask them all my questions, what the day to day role would be like, what kind of support I would be getting, what career pathways were available to me. And, they really alleviated a lot of my concerns and worries. And the level of support that you get from the staff around you here at Esri UK is very, very high, especially for the graduates transitioning off of the graduate program. No one sort of leaves you alone to figure everything out. Everyone is very, very helpful. And I know my colleagues in my 2021 intake also received a similar level of support that I did. So in January, I submitted my application. I had to do a CV and cover letter. And then around February time, it was the interview process. Now, the interview process for my permanent role was a lot less formal than my graduate scheme interview. I didn't have to do an assessment center or anything like that. Um, the interviews did have the formal structure, normal interview questions, some technical questions as well. But ultimately, it's a discussion between you and the team that you're applying to, and you're trying to figure out if this role is the best for you. Um, the company wants you to be in the role that's most suited for you, so you can do the best work you can. So after the application process, I received a confirmation and an offer. And in April, I joined professional services as an Academy GIS consultant. To the left here, you've seen this image before. It's our first ever day here at Esri UK. And I've sort of signposted who ended up where after the program. And as James and Liv have mentioned before, there is a wide range of roles for you after the program. Now, a bit more about professional services. So, like I said earlier, professional services is the consultancy department in Esri UK, and we make up a large portion of the Esri UK staff. We work on over 500 projects a year to deliver specialist support and customer success, and it's a mixture of remote and on site work. And we deliver projects in sectors like government, defense, public safety, and many more. So, why did I decide to join and accept my offer for professional services? And what's the academy that she keeps talking about? So, when you accept an offer for a role within professional services, if you're an early career GIS consultant, you typically have to spend about a year in the Professional Services Academy. And this is true for anyone moving into professional services after the graduate scheme, or you may be coming into professional services externally as well. And the Academy is a working group that sits under professional services where you get to build up your skills as a consultant, both in technical skills. So, what's unique with the Academy is that you get to work across all of the sectors. Professional services consultants not in the academy usually work in one sector, so they have specialist knowledge on the solutions and workflows that they deliver to their customers. The academy, on the other hand, offers you an overview of all the solutions that we provide to customers, giving you a overview of technical knowledge and the workflows. And you also get to develop your softer skills, such as, communication. How can you manage a meeting? Can you lead a meeting? How do you communicate quite heavy technical stuff to non-GIS people? And, how to conduct yourself on a customer site. And after you leave the academy, you get to submit your preference of the sector that you wish to work in. And hopefully, if the business needs match up, you get to work in the sector of your uh, choice. So, why did I decide to accept my role for the Professional Services Academy? Like I said earlier, great opportunity to work in various different sectors. So, if I scroll down for a bit, these are some of the customers that I had worked with for the first 6 months of my time in the academy. You can see here we have higher education, government, utilities, charities, architecture, engineering, and construction. So you do get a wide range of work. So the wide range of work and projects, very, very appealing to me because hopefully we're all here because we're excited about GIS. I know I am, and it's great to see all the amazing work that our customers are doing. And because of the range of work, every day is different. Every project is different. One day you could be configuring field applications. Another day you could be doing some remote sensing and working with imagery. One of my most recent projects was to create a 3D model of a customer site and then to create a virtual reality experience from that, which is kind of crazy to me because I never thought I'd be doing something like that. So it's really, really fun. And because we're doing a wide range of projects, you get to tailor your learning and development, and you get to set aside some time to, really develop your skills in the technologies that you're interested in. And you get to tell your line manager that, hey, I want to learn more about real-time tracking, or I want to learn more about 3D, and they'll try and find projects that line up with your development. Professional services is also a great stepping stone to other roles as well. Typically, within a project team, you yourself are the GIS consultant, um, where you get to do the day to day project work, but other people are involved as well. You have the project manager who project managers keep the light on. They're amazing, great at organization. They communicate with the customer and ensure a good working relationship between Esri UK and the customer. You have the solution architect who have high levels of the technology. They know a lot about the back end processes that goes on behind our software. Um, and they're usually the technical advisor for a project. Also, if the project requires any custom scripting, a software developer or engineer may be involved. So you're in the academy, you may move up vertically. So, as a GS consultant, you leave and become a lead consultant, a senior consultant, work your way up to a principal. But that doesn't mean there's no lateral movement as well. If you have amazing organizational skills and communication skills, you may want to be a project manager. If you have a knack for coding, you can become a developer. Or if you want to develop your technical knowledge, you can become a solution architect as well. You also have the flexibility to work on-site and remotely, and working on-site is so rewarding. I joined Esri UK during the pandemic time, so a lot of my work was working from home. So I was very nervous to working on-site and having my first customer engagement. And I remember my first ever customer on-site work. I was 1 month out of the graduate program, and I had to go in to a customer office and become the technical advisor for GIS for that company. And I felt a bit like a fraud during the time because, I just am fresh out of the graduate program. But you are surprised at how much you actually know. And on site work really solidifies and confirms and builds upon all of the skills that you develop during the graduate program. And it really kind of helps fight the imposter syndrome as well. So I really, really recommend it. And again, like I said earlier, you build up your skills as a consultant, both technical and softer skills. And because you're going on site, working across different sectors, you have the opportunity to network with a lot of different people. So I know we're a bit short on time, so I'll end my presentation there. So that's sort of my journey from the graduate program off into professional services. This is my LinkedIn account. Feel free to connect with me. And my story map is available publicly, and I'm sure Addy and James will distribute it out after the webinar. Thank you. Cheers.